Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Good morning, Vietnam!
Hello there.
What's happening?
I feel the need for speed. Ow! Warriors, come to play!
Here's Johnny!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Cinemateq live stream here on YouTube. I'm also live streaming on TikTok right now. Hello everyone who's still watching on TikTok. I invite you to come over to YouTube if you so please. If you want to stick around on TikTok, please do that as well. Today is the weekly live stream. It is December 14th, 2022, and of course we are going to be talking about movies. Looks like we got Eli in the chat already. Hello, Eli. And also going to have to talk about some channel-related things because there's things happening in the American Congress that might screw up the whole TikTok thing I got going on, which applies to you guys specifically right there, the people on TikTok who are watching. So maybe we'll just start in on that, although maybe I'll wait a second. What's Marcel saying here? Yeah, a couple of recent losses, couldn't get Flying Daggers, haven't seen it. Man, Flying Daggers, I was kind of shocked by that one, that film was included, but also that they just started it with like a pair of flying daggers. Like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't physically believe that they just, it was so perfect. It was such a perfect opening one that, like, if you were stupid and like just said to yourself, like, okay, what are these things in front of me? I don't know, flying daggers, and just type that in, you would have gotten it, you know? But like, if you're just like, oh, they're swift knives, you're like, ah, shit. I don't get that one at all. It doesn't work for me. So yeah, that one was funny. That one, I mean, it sucks that you lost on that one. I was laughing though, as soon as I think that's in the video I posted too. I was just like laughing after I realized what it was. What a great first image, right? It's almost like what they did with Manhattan, right? They just showed a picture of Manhattan. It's like, if you recognize like the Chrysler Building, it's like, I guess I'll just type in Manhattan and see what happens. Let's see. Dory's here as well. What's up, Dory? Eli just finished The Fabelmans earlier. I liked it, but I felt it to be a little anticlimactic. But on the other hand, it's basically an auto-biopic. Yeah, I think basically with that film, with The Fabelmans, the only place that it could really end was with the Steven Spielberg stand-in character, like saying to himself, no, this is what I love, and I'm not going to let people get in the way. And then I do kind of love, like, I hate to say that the movie is anticlimactic because that last scene with John Ford being played by David Lynch was like one of the best things I've seen all year. Still one of the best things. David Lynch as an actor is one of my personal favorite things. I love a lot of stuff that David Lynch does, but when he gets in front of the camera on like Twin Peaks or in The Fabelmans, like, I just love it to death. The man's got this great way of just being amazing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a stan. Also, I heard that like he only agreed to do that movie if they got Cheetos on set. And I was like, yo, fair play to David Lynch. He knows what he likes. Dory asking if we're going to cover the Golden Globe nominations. Yes, we are. We are going to be talking about the Golden Globe nominations, as a matter of fact. Let's see. Bones and All shocked me to my core. Yeah, Bones and All I saw, last week maybe. That was a film where I kind of had my hand over my mouth at the end because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't really comprehend that what I had just seen was made into a movie, that like a bunch of people put money in on this and a bunch of people read the script and were like, yeah, this is going to be a good idea. Like, I loved it. I loved that movie a lot. I was just sort of in shock that I was in a commercial movie theater and not some weird art house theater watching this, you know? Like, it's not the kind of movie that you expect to go see, that you expect to see in a commercial theater like that. But, you know, it's the time of the year that we're in. It's festival season, right? Or not festival season, it's award season. At least we're getting into it. So it's wild. Maybe we'll get a pitch meeting for it, for Bones and All. God, I would love that. I would love that. I would love a pitch meeting for Bones and All. It's so ridiculous. Looks like some guy's trying to get me to say something interesting in the TikTok chat. Don't think I know what you're doing, Justin Willard. Don't think I know what you're doing. Took my goddaughter to watch Strange World. I liked it. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the discourse around Strange World. I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of the discourse has just been like, it's fine, and that's good. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna wait until it comes out on Disney Plus to watch it. It'll be on Disney Plus, I think, in Canada in like the 23rd, so like not that long away. God, that's only 9 days away. Holy shit. Where has the year gone? Am I right? But yeah, it seems like a lot of people are just saying it's fine. And of course, like ignoring all of the stupid right-wing commentators who are like, oh my God, gay characters in a Disney film? They're groomers. They're grooming people. Like just ignoring the morons who say shit like that, but like wouldn't even lift a finger to say anything bad about like Aladdin and Jasmine getting together. Like, fuck them. Fuck all those people. So, yes. I will be seeing Strange Worlds. I'm not too hyped for it. I did recently watch Turning Red, though, and that movie is great. Once again, to every critic who watched that movie and was like, oh my God, I can't see myself in this movie. It's really hard for me to relate to these issues and these problems. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You're playing. You're playing it. You suck. You're terrible. You're bad culture critics. Pack up your bag and leave. Like it's stupid. It's stupid. It's just so stupid. Like, okay, and this is the thing. Marcel, I see you saying that being like people like, they were like, oh my God, periods. They can't do allegories for that. Like half of the fucking population of the earth doesn't experience it. But we're all supposed to be able to relate to a billionaire who decides to fight crime because his parents got shot. Super relatable stuff. But like also the act of attempting to convince your parents to take you to a concert when you're like, 10 or 12 years old. I did that a lot. That was like a weekly thing in my household. So, just because I biologically do not have periods doesn't mean there aren't things in the film for me to relate to. The idea that someone can't watch what is essentially a coming of age film, find aspects of the narrative that relate to them, just kind of imply that you didn't progress past being a 10-year-old, So to hell with all of them. Someone here, Mike, is asking me what the greatest Pixar films are. I think Pixar's best film is WALL-E. I think Turning Red is probably actually going to be up there. It's probably going to be up there. I see you saying The Incredibles and Toy Story 2. I think it's WALL-E for sure. After that, I don't really have definitive rankings. I also rank Up very highly. I'm not as high. I'm not as high on the Toy Stories as a lot of other people. I don't know why. Maybe it's because that's just more of like a distant memory for me as opposed to a more recent thing. But I don't know. All right, Marcel, you're gonna go watch Amelie. Have yourself a good one. Talking about bones and all. So you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's about some cannibals. Really? Yeah. But these cannibals are in love. Oh. TJ, don't get mad, but Will Smith was amazing in Emancipation. I'm not going to get mad at that. The man's a capable actor for sure. So, yeah. I'm fine with Emancipation being a good movie and with Will Smith being good in it. If he does good work, he does good work. Do you like Whiplash? Yeah, I think Whiplash is pretty good. I don't hold it on like the same level as a lot of other people do, but I think it's pretty great. Let's see. The Whale releases wide in a week. Also, new trailers was so good. I think The Whale. I think what we got with the new trailer for The Whale, I think it's probably enough to like solidify for some people the fact that Brendan Fraser probably should win an Oscar, which is strange because it's like a minute and 30 seconds, right? But everything that he is eventually going to win the Oscar for is in that trailer. There's other stuff as well, but like a lot of the main stuff, the reasons, not the individual scenes, but the reasons why he's going to be winning the Oscar for that role are in that trailer. So it's kind of a good trailer for seeding him as that kind of front runner, which I think was probably the intention. And then, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to go see it, and when it goes wide, and I think the general consensus from everyone is going to be Brendan Fraser is incredible. A couple of the other performances are quite good. The movie as a whole is kind of okay. And that's pretty much going to be the conversation. Hopefully it doesn't pivot to a point where it's like, oh, can the best actor come from no one saw or that no one likes? And like, if we start having those conversations, we should just stop having film awards. You know, like, obviously a film can have one of the greatest performances of the year in it and still be just sort of like an okay, decently good film, right? So I don't know. Hopefully we don't get into that kind of bullshit. Also, if you're watching on TikTok or YouTube, please make sure to like the live stream no matter where you're watching it. On TikTok, like it a bunch. On YouTube, like it once. Just once. But sign into multiple accounts and like it multiple times. Wait, James Cameron is Canadian? Yes, he is. Like all good things, he is Canadian. Hot take about Pixar. Lightyear was better than every Toy Story movie except Toy Story 2. Caleb, I appreciate that take. I don't agree with it personally. I thought Lightyear was a fairly boring film, honestly, and it never really did much for me. I found myself zoning out quite a bit because it didn't really feel like it had like strong stakes. It didn't really feel like it was doing anything, like it had anywhere to go. It was just kind of like meh. So yeah, I disagree with you on that, but that's fine. Whiplash is my favorite Metallica song. It's not a bad one, although I still think Trapped Under Ice is their best song ever. I was emotional just watching the trailer. For The Whale? Fair enough. Please tier list Del Toro's Pinocchio song Ciao Papa. I mean, most of the songs in Del Toro's Pinocchio are quite good. So, like, B's to A's for pretty much all of them. Are you going to cover the 2022 Southeastern Film Critics Association winners? Should I? Wait, the Southeastern Film Critics Association. So what, people from Florida? People from Florida saying what the best films are? Do I need to cover that? Is it an indicator of anything? I don't know. Hey, I love the content. I just watched On the Count of Three and was wondering your thoughts. The film On the Count of Three. That might be the first time I've ever heard of it. What is it? Okay, so it's got Christopher Abbott in it. I know him. Tiffany Haddish. Okay. Directed by who? Jared Carmichael, who stars in it. Yeah, I don't know anything about... Oh, wait. No. That's wrong. I saw a trailer for this and then never had the opportunity to see the film. I recognize it, though, based on the poster. Was it good? Like, would you recommend it to someone to go see? Please let me know, Christian. Appreciate that. So, now that we're into the live stream a little bit, I'm sure everyone who's going to be popping in will be asking me to repeat this later, but do need to talk about something that potentially impacts TikTok viewers, that's you, and YouTube viewers, that's you. And that is the United States government getting a little annoyed at the fact that TikTok exists. Has anyone else heard about this? Has anyone else been following this kind of news? So, U.S. lawmakers introduced bill to ban TikTok. And if you're watching on TikTok, come on over to YouTube and watch so you can see the articles that I'm looking at. But yeah, the United States government is none too happy with the Chinese owned and run TikTok. But why, you may be asking? Well, the subheadline, TikTok has recently said it was working with U.S. government to safeguard user data, and that's what's at the crux of all of this. American lawmakers don't like the idea of the Chinese government having access to the data of potentially like 100 million United States citizens. Obviously, if TikTok was owned by an American company, they wouldn't give a shit. This has nothing to do with like the way that TikTok can radicalize people, any sort of business practices of TikTok outside of the fact that they do sell user data and use user data in China for reasons. Has nothing to do with that, right? Like if TikTok was owned by Elon Musk, this wouldn't be happening. But because TikTok is essentially owned by the Chinese government, we get this problem. So, to read through the article, Republican Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, also noted asshole, on Tuesday announced bipartisan legislation to ban China's popular social media app TikTok, ratcheting up pressure by owner ByteDance Limited amid U.S. fears the app could be used to spy on or censor Americans. The legislation would block all transactions from any social media company in or under the influence of China and Russia, Rubio's office said in a news release, which is interesting. I've heard about this particular wording in the legislation and how that could potentially be used to go after a platform like Twitter, because it is wholly owned at this point by Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is now very much in bed with the Chinese government because he's trying to get Chinese plans for Tesla cars built, and maybe the Chinese government is going to be leaning on him for stuff. Does that mean that does that mean that Twitter may eventually be affected by this bill if it passes? Who knows? Like I said, it's an American company, and the United States government might not care about that. The important thing to note here, and apologies for the people who are joining in on TikTok and don't know what I'm talking about, basically the United States wants to ban TikTok, and that's a problem for content creators like me. But there's also larger concerns in this. I will note, though, that this bill does have bipartisan support, which is not something that you see that often these days in American politics, which really says to me that this has a shot of passing, right? This is not just going to be a bunch of, Republicans trying to vote for something and a few of them break away and they don't get enough, or Democrats try to get it passed, but they don't get enough Republicans, so it doesn't pass. Like, it's not going to be something like that. I imagine there's going to be bipartisan support because there's going to be no real lobbying effort of substance on behalf of TikTok here, since it is like a Chinese corporation. I'm sure the Chinese government is going to come in and try to do something, say something, influence some people, but like, this sort of thing is going to be seen as like a slam dunk for a lot of lawmakers in the United States to be seen as being like tough on China. Like, it's going to be very simple for them to say, we don't like it when the Chinese government gets user data. Only we can use our user data, our citizens' user data, I should say. So I think this probably has a very good chance of passing. Now, I see Gary on TikTok saying, but wait, aren't you Canadian? And yes, Gary, that is very much true. If this legislation were to pass, it wouldn't really affect me personally. I would still be able to use the app. However, 90% of my TikTok audience is American. So if 90% of my audience leaves, like, TikTok, there's no fucking point anymore, right? Like, why would I even come on here? Why would I post videos and only get 200 views, right? Because if we're talking about 90%, like, my videos nowadays, they collect 2,000 to 3,000 views, and if I put a little bit of effort in, they can get up higher than that. But if they only are ever going to be seen by like 200 people, 300 people, why would I continue doing that? Especially when I know that some of my frame shorts can go up on YouTube and get, 1,500 to 2,000 views. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say to all of you about this. I may, in the future, leave the platform of TikTok entirely, maybe because of this and maybe for other reasons. The thing that I have always had to run away from, the reality that I've always had to run away from when it comes to TikTok, is the fact that it is a Chinese-owned social media platform where the Chinese government can get access to a lot of people's data very, very easily. That's a bitter pill that I've had to swallow because TikTok is such a good platform to grow on for new creators, right? And the fact that I can have 45,000 followers on TikTok after only being on here for about a year, and I really only saw growth for the first 7 months of that year, compared to the 1,600 subscribers that I have on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube for like 4 years, really speaks to that divide. I was able to build up a much larger following much faster on TikTok. However, this is like a whole other thing that this I've now been forced to re-examine this in the wake of this. I can't like just ignore the fact that a lot of user data that I am contributing to is helping the Chinese government, which I am not a fan of. So there's probably a very good chance that either by my hand or the United States government's hand, I will be leaving TikTok. When that happens, I don't know. If I were to do it, there's a lot of preparation that would need to happen on my side. First, the chief amongst would be starting a brand new YouTube channel where the TikTok content that I've already made would be able to live. For those of you who watch me on YouTube, you know that up until very recently, I have been posting the frame videos and even some of the flickle videos on that YouTube channel, but that has stopped in the last week, and that is because I finally come to the realization and accepted the reality of the fact that on YouTube you can only put up very niche content onto your channel, and if you stray from that niche even a little bit, you can be doing yourself a disservice. So as an example, I want Cinemateq to be a channel where people can discuss films, and I want to be able to help people discover films, right? The framed and the flickle videos don't really do that. Those are games, right? Those are games. Those are me playing games. And so even though it's movie games, it's still a different enough of a niche where it could hurt me. And we can get into talking about why it hurts me, but that's kind of a discussion for another day, or at least later on in this live stream. So I will be creating a second channel called something like Cinemateq 2 or Cinemateq Also or Cinemateq Games or something like that. And that is where the framed and flickle content will go to live. It would be a bit of a process because there's like well over 300 framed and flickle videos at this point. And I would need to migrate them in a very terrible, dumb way because YouTube doesn't really let you do it in an easy, simple way. And that would be that. The regular Cinemateq channel on YouTube would stay as it is. It would have more of those ranking videos, reviews if I ever decide to do reviews again, and that's that. That is how that would work. That is how that would shape up. The other part to all of this, and those of you who follow me on YouTube may have already noticed this, but my content output has gone down. Part of that is just simply because of the World Cup, and I'm a big old soccer fan and I can't help myself, especially when there's 4 games a day. However, I've also had to admit to myself over the last couple of weeks that I'm sort of at the point where I can no longer approach Cinemateq like it's its own individual business, right? I put in a lot of work into Cinemateq over the first 8 or 9 months after I left my last job. I tried putting out a lot of different videos. I tried a lot of different content. I'm still experimenting with thumbnails and things like that to see if I can get something to take off even a little bit. But I've gotten to the point now where I know that I will not be able to make enough money off of doing this to sustain myself. So I've had to rearrange my thinking on Cinemateq and come to the understanding that it is now a hobby and not a profession. And so that's basically what I'm going to be sort of transitioning to. There's still going to be videos on Cinemateq. There's still going to be content. There's still going to be live streams. It's just going to have to be secondary to a job, a real job that I would be working in the real world, which I do not have yet. But I have a couple of months that allow me to get to that point to actually be having that job. Weirdly, if I could find a video store that would hire me and pay me like $40K a year, I could probably make that work. But, you know, how many of those left are there? Not a lot. Certainly not a lot that would be paying $40K a year to someone working part-time. So, yeah, it's an interesting spot to be in, but it's one that I think will end up being for the best. Like I said, videos will still get put up on the channel. The live streams will still go ahead. I will still be doing awards reactions and things like this. That will all stay true. It just means that like the video output for longer videos there will be more time in between those videos. I was putting out those longer ranked videos, like 1 per week. But yeah, it's just going to slow down. It's just going to slow down. That's it. That's all. And hopefully whatever job I do eventually get doesn't ban me from doing this kind of work. A job in the film industry of some kind would probably ban me from doing this kind of stuff because they wouldn't want me leaking insider info or anything like that. But once again, that depends on the job itself. So once again, we will have to wait and see. So I'm just going to go quickly through some chat that's popped up since I went on that long rant. Thank you for sticking with me through that. And I promise we're going to talk more about film stuff. So going back to Christian, who was talking about On the Count of Three, saying it stuck with you, amazing acting, performances from Abbott and Carmichael. Cool. So there's an independent film that Christian's recommending. You all can go check that out. And if, in fact, I think I will go to my Letterboxd and I will add that to my watch list. Just so I don't forget it, because I've already forgotten about it once, so there's a fair chance I'm going to forget about it again. Gary also called me the GOAT. Thank you, Gary. My favorite Wes Anderson film is The Life Aquatic. I love The Life Aquatic. Kind of excited for Babylon, but kind of tired of seeing Brad Pitt. Yeah, fair enough. I'm actually pretty stoked for Babylon. Not stoked because of like the running length. I'm kind of really over 3-hour movies, although I am going to be seeing Avatar 2 tomorrow, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm excited to see Babylon though. I think it'll be good. I think it has the potential of being like a catastrophe as well, but like a fun catastrophe. A catastrophe that's fun to watch. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Your thoughts on Jared Carmichael hosting the Golden Globes? Oh, he's going to be hosting the Golden Globes? I did not know about that. I mean, if the Golden Globes can somehow reform its image, then I don't see it as being like a toxic gig. And I imagine, Jared Carmichael, what has he been doing as an actor, though? He's fairly... Yeah, he hasn't done a lot, and most of his stuff has been like supporting roles for the most part. Like, he's done some stand-up comedy, so he might actually be a good host. But as far as films are concerned, he's been in like Neighbors 2 and Neighbors, The Disaster Artist, mid-90s, Transformers, The Last Night, and that's it. So I think this will probably work in his favor for the most part, as long as it's a good job and like the Golden Globes don't shit the bed completely, which we're going to talk about in a second when we get to the nominations. They've been targeting TikTok for years. They have, but now that they're actually tabling legislation, it seems like it's gonna happen like soon. And like, because this is not an American business, there may not be like a grace period. It might just be like, hey, we've passed this law and Joe Biden has signed off on it, so no more TikTok. Like Apple and Google, you must obey the law and you must remove it from your app stores, and then it's gone. You know, so I think it would be a good idea for me to set up this second channel on YouTube anyways, even if TikTok continues and I stay on TikTok. If I decide to actually do that, it would be a good idea to set up the second channel anyways, because TikTok could very well just disappear at some other time. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Also, I think the new Transformers looks a little dumb. Just me. The new Transformers is a bit nostalgic for me because I was watching those episodes for Beast Wars or Beasties, wherever you were. They were called different things. I was watching those new. Like, I remember like getting excited for like the season finale of Beast Wars, because that's how, you know, that shit was sold to me as a kid. So seeing those particular Transformers got me kind of like, ooh, this is great. This is fun. But I'm not going to be tricked, right? Like, that's how Michael Bay got me into a theater in 2008 for the first Transformers, or 2006, whatever it was. I know better now. I know better than to trust Michael Bay with my childhood. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But, you know, I don't think it looks terrible. But it probably will end up being terrible. I also saw a video that said TikTok takes the same information as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. Yeah, it's true. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bit more intrusive than those apps. But I also wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised about a corporation selling or taking your data. The difference I will say between those between those other social media platforms and TikTok. And to be clear, if you have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you should probably just delete it anyways. I deleted the Twitter app from my phone, and I feel great about it. The difference, though, is that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whoever, they are taking that data and they're using it to sell it. They're selling it for ads, right? Because they want to be able to have targeted ads at their users that are relevant to the users. So it's a business proposition for them. Whereas with TikTok, it is a company that is owned by ByteDance, which I believe ByteDance is a corporation that is owned by the Chinese government. So like, imagine if Facebook was owned by the United States government, right? You probably wouldn't just be saying, oh, it's the same data. You'd be thinking like, why does the United States government need all of that data? I just want to check out here, see if it actually is ByteDance, because it's a private company, but private company in China is different than private everywhere else. Headquartered, key people, revenue, but who owns it? CEO, China, ByteDance. All right. I don't see anything on the Wikipedia page that says that like it's certainly not like owned by the Chinese government, but I think we can safely say that the Chinese government has a way in because it's the Chinese government and they are an authoritarian state. So yeah, that is part of the problem here. Wait, I thought Microsoft announced it was buying TikTok from ByteDance a while ago. I think in that case, you're right. I think they said that they would be taking over American operations for ByteDance, but then something came out more recently that said that the Chinese, like ByteDance or the Chinese government, still had a back door into the American servers, so the data still wasn't secure anyways. So yeah, it's still a problem. Speaking of Canada and YouTube, whatever happened to Bill C-11? I don't know. Did that ever get passed? I haven't heard about it in a while, and I haven't seen like my YouTube homepage change. Yeah, the Online Streaming Act. The bill was introduced in February 2022. Okay, but yeah, has it? Again, once again, debate largely curtailed by providing only 3. The bill was passed by the House of Commons on June 21st during its third reading, and once again be sent to the Senate for review. So by the looks of it, it hasn't passed the Senate yet. It's being considered by the Canadian Senate. And yeah, I don't really know what's going to be happening with that. From a creator standpoint, the only thing I really know about it is that they're trying to make it so that like YouTube and other content platforms surface Canadian content to Canadians more often. How they end up doing that, I don't know. And how it affects me, I don't know. But that's a thing that Canada did. It's probably something I should look into a little bit more. Hello, TJ. I'm going to Las Vegas next week to see my aunt. Nice. Wait, does that mean you're going to be in Las Vegas for Christmas? That's going to be fun. Maybe get a job at a local library. You know, the Toronto Public Library does have some job openings that I may actually qualify for. But I also don't have any library science. I don't have any library science in my educational background, so that might be a bit of a hard sell. Plus, I watch more movies than I read, so yeah. Although they do have good DVD sections at the TPL, so maybe I could be the movie guy. I plan to move in summer and plan to get a job in a movie theater. I can take free popcorn home. Yeah, you could live off of that for a little while before your bloodstream turns to sludge. That's a way you could go about it. It seems like some real 1984 shit. You see, the thing is, it's what the Chinese are doing with the data. That is the 1984 stuff. The fact that the American government wants to protect the privacy of the American people is like something they haven't really given a shit about. And once again, this is largely only because TikTok is owned by a Chinese corporation. If TikTok was owned by Mark Zuckerberg, no one would give a shit about data privacy, right? And I think broadly what probably needs to happen in Canada, the United States, and in other countries is that, and maybe this is something that would happen through the UN, but like there needs to be a sort of civil rights movement of sorts, but for digital rights. We should be able to very easily opt out of all data tracking, right? Very easily do that. But, you know, whether or not that happens, who knows? Brent talking about the Beast Wars trailer. Yeah, I'm incredibly nostalgic for it too, but it kind of just makes me want to watch the original show. I saw, yeah, I mean, like, I get it. I understand. I agree as well. But I saw some clips of the original Beast Wars, and I'm like, man, you can tell that was like the first CGI show, right? Like, you can tell that was the first one. It does not look good, but it has some great voice acting. First time watches since last, Permanent Vacation, Stranger Than Paradise, The Dragon Painter, Texas, Brooklyn, and Heaven, Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, nice. Lemon Drop Kid and Jacques Tati's Playtime. Yo, did you see that thing in Playtime I was talking about where like even in the distance all of the people are the same looking and they have the same costumes and they're in these very specific buses and stuff? God, it's so detailed. I was under the impression that all the Chinese companies are partially owned by the government or have to share intel, details, etc. Yeah, there's something about the way that government and that society is set up so that, yeah, like the government does have a say in things. I'm also pretty sure that like people can't own land. Wait, is that right? Or am I thinking of somewhere else? I might be thinking of somewhere else. But like, you know, a lot of stuff is going to be at the behest of the Chinese government. They are far more intertwined or entangled with the corporate world over there. So yeah. I think it's safe to say that the Chinese government is probably looking at your TikTok data right now. I use TikTok for promoting my poetry and movie reviews, but I don't browse through posts because I'm sorry, I don't want to see someone's ass in my face. You know, it's true. There are a lot of thirst traps on TikTok. Yes, I will be in Vegas during Christmas time. I'm going to be seeing a Christmas music show. Nice. What's up, Mildred? Good to see you here. I just watched Moonrise Kingdom. If you've seen it, what do you think? I really like Moonrise Kingdom. It's, I think maybe one of the more... No, I guess all of Wes Anderson's films are a little dry, but they're sort of meant to be. They're sort of like dry in a quirky way, and I guess Moonrise Kingdom is no different than that. Yeah, I think Moonrise Kingdom is good. I don't think it's his best film, but I think you can definitely have some fun with it. And I think it's maybe his... Is it the only film where he did like a coming of age with kids? Is it his only like young kid coming of age? I feel like his films are almost universally coming of age, but it's like adults coming of age, like adults figuring out how to be adults for the first time, and throwing away like their childish glee or having to at least reckon with that childish glee. Yeah, it's weird. Let's see. Are you excited for Blue Jays signing Chris Bassett? Mostly, yeah. Mostly excited. Hopefully he can pitch well in Toronto. If Barrios comes back as his old self and not his 2022 self, we're going to have 4 very good starting pitchers. We're going to have a very good rotation, and there's always a chance that the Blue Jays pick up one more starting pitcher in a trade, perhaps. I've heard that the New York Mets have a surplus of pitchers now that they've signed like that Japanese dude, Segura, I think is his name, and Verlander, and I think they picked up one other one. So they've got like 7 or 8 starting pitchers, and obviously they don't need all of those. So maybe we pick up another guy and push Kikuchi and White into the bullpen. That'd be kind of nice. There's your daily sports talk from TJ. Kodai Senga, yeah. He's pretty cool. I love the fact how he, like, invented a pitch. Like, you don't hear about that a lot in baseball anymore. Like, you kind of think that all of the pitches have been invented. You know, you got your fastballs, the 2 and the 4 seam variety. You got your curveballs, your sliders, your forkballs, your knuckleballs, your sinkers, your risers. But yeah, he apparently, this Senga guy invented a ghost fork, I think is what they call it. Which is a particular kind of forkball. So maybe it's more of like a subspecies of the forkball instead of a new pitch. But like, I saw it come out of his hands and it looks devastating. Looks absolutely devastating. I've been showing my mom some old holiday classics. We watched Holiday Affair. Nice. It Happened on Fifth Avenue. Nice. Both great stuff. Tonight we're planning on watching Tokyo Godfathers. Man, that's one I still need to see. That's one I still need to see for sure. Ah, man. So many movies. So little time. Playtime seriously has some of the best production design I have ever seen. The editing is sick. The dinner scene sort of reminded me of Triangle of Sadness. Yeah, the dinner scene's pretty chaotic and fun. Like, you really get the Mr. Bean vibes in that scene as well. It's so good. Ghostly forkball. Hell yeah. Top 5 movies of 2022 are too many to choose from. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, Charles. It's a tough one. Mostly, I mean, partially because I haven't seen all of the 2022 movies yet. I have like a list of maybe 20 or 25 that I think that are going to be Oscar contenders that I haven't seen, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones that I haven't seen either, like that Flesh movie that's Sebastian Stan was in. I still haven't seen that. Like, there's a lot of 2022 movies that I still haven't seen, and it's difficult because, my God, there's just so many movies. But let's see. I've seen 112 movies from this year. My top 5 is probably going to include movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, Decision to Leave, maybe Holy Spider, After Sun. I think would probably also be in that top 5. I would really want it, like, there's so many other movies that I would want to put in this because it just feels like I'm leaving out a bunch of shit. Yeah, it's been a very, very good year for film. EO would probably also be in my top 5. So why don't we just say that for now? We got EO, we've got After Sun, Tar, Holy Spider, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those are pretty much my top 5 right now. But my God, it's such a good. Oh wait, did I forget Decision to Leave the second time around? All right, it's hard. It's tough. There's a lot of good stuff. Like, I would also, in a top 5, consider films like, and now I'm just looking on Letterboxd at all of the films that I've seen this year. What else would I put in? What would I consider for my top 10? Viking was pretty good. Rice Boy Sleeps was pretty good. How to Blow Up a Pipeline was really good. I really liked Glass Onion. The Eternal Daughter was good. Emily was good. Oh my God, what else? Banshees was good, although I think maybe a little overrated. Bones and All was really good. The Wonder was really good. Tar was great. Shout out to Barbarian, probably the best horror movie of the year. Nope was pretty good. Bullet Train was pretty good. Oh man, so many. Falcon Lake was pretty sick. That's probably my favorite Canadian film of the year. Broker had some great performances in it. And this is just things I'd consider for my top 10, right? Like, there's so many. Hunt is a Korean action film. I really like that. That one was cool. The Northman was good. Passengers of the Night was really good. Turning Red's really good. Both Sides of the Blade has some really good performances in it. Like, Bodies has its moments. Girl Picture's really good. My God. There's that other French film that for some reason is showing up. Oh, probably because it's a 2021 movie and it's not showing up in this list right now. Fast and Feel Love is a great movie. Like, it's going to be so hard this year to figure out a top 5, like a proper top 5. Although right now, I think I'm safe in saying EO, Decision to Leave, Everything Everywhere All at Once. What were the other ones that I said? Tar and a 5th movie of some kind. I keep forgetting what I'm saying. After Sun. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous here. So happy that Triangle of Sadness got nominated for Best Picture Comedy or Musical and Best Supporting Actress for Dolly de Leon. Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's go into the what is it? The Golden Globe nominations. Let's do that. My mom and I watched Pinocchio on Saturday, and we absolutely loved it. We teared up. Oh, it's pretty good. Bones and All is on your top list, as it should be, with Nope, X, and Pearl. Yep, all good movies, man. Oh, it's gonna be a tough one. All right, TikTok people, if you haven't come over to YouTube yet, I'm looking at the nominees for the Golden Globes, which were just announced earlier this week. So we're going to be talking about those a bit. So come join me if you want a visual aid. I'm still going to be talking about them, but hey, maybe you want to see some pictures along with this stuff. Maybe not just only look at my face. All right, so Best Picture Drama, the big category for the Golden Globes, the big one. The nominees are Avatar 2, Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. And I, for one, would love it. I would just love it if we could just stop pretending that Elvis was like worthy of this kind of position in awards season. Austin Butler should not be getting nominated for Best Actor. The film should not be getting nominated for Best Picture. The only awards that should be coming even close to sniffing are like production design, costume design. Like it's maybe editing, but like no shot it should be getting into any of the top tier ones. It shouldn't be there. It's not that good. It's not. You can fight me if you want to. You can disagree. Please tell me if you do. But like, no. I also haven't seen Avatar 2, so I can't really comment on its placement here, although I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I will be seeing it tomorrow. So, yeah, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. The Fabelmans, I understand why it's here. Like, it's a Steven Spielberg film. It was one of the better films that was at TIFF, probably. I think it was in my top... Yeah, it was definitely in my top 5 at TIFF. I think number 3, I think I had it. And it's a film about making movies, and it's a biopic about the early life of Steven Spielberg, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's like, it's award season catnip, so I understand why it's there. Tar, honestly, is the only film out of these 5 that I feel like we will actually be talking about in 5 to 10 years as being one of the best movies of the year. I think by the time the next like 5-10 years rolls around, we're going to be talking about Top Gun Maverick like, oh yeah, it was a good film because it helped save cinemas, but like when you actually look at the script, when you actually look at the acting, when you like re-examine it, it's basically a couple of pretty good stunt performances and Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise. Like, I don't think I'm going to ever be able to take seriously anyone ever again who is like dick riding Top Gun Maverick super hard, but will never in their life say that a Fast and the Furious movie should win Best Picture, right? Because like they're the same. They're the same type of movie. They're executed in the same kind of way. And for some reason, everyone's coming out for Top Gun Maverick being like, yo, it's just so good. When like it's literally just Star Wars with a Fast and the Furious skin like put on top of it. And obviously some pretty cool cinematography and some pretty cool stunts. But like, yeah, I'm gonna continue being a hater. I'm gonna continue being a hater for that movie because I feel like I need to be that for everyone. And when everyone turns on it in a few years, I'll be there to say like, haha, I told you. But yeah, this, I don't know. I think actually between the two, and like this is not something I usually say about like when we split up Golden Globes where like we get drama and Best Picture musical comedy. Just looking at this, I would say that the musical comedy Best Picture is much stronger. Like Triangle of Sadness is great. Everything Everywhere All at Once is great. I think Banshees of Inisherin is pretty good, but I think it's a little bit overrated. Knives Out 2, Glass Onion, I think is pretty good, and I love that it's here. And I've heard Babylon is going to be a decisive movie. It's going to be a wacky movie. It's going to be a lot, no matter what. But I kind of appreciate that it's here. And just looking at the trailers, it seems like it at least has a very competent aesthetic that is going to be just wonderful to look at, you know? So I think this is actually a much stronger category than the drama one, and I don't really have any complaints about it. I can't think of any other movie that I would want to be here that isn't, to be honest. I do think that like if we go back up here to drama, like EO should be here over Elvis, obviously. Like it's not even a question in my mind. What would be another good one? I mean, Holy Spider, wouldn't expect that to be here because I mean EO and Holy Spider are never going to be there because they are not English language films. Decision to Leave, though, I think easily could walk right in here and take Elvis's spot, and this would be immediately a much, much better category. But we're not doing that. So let's move on. Actually, let's see here. I will watch Babylon because of Tobey Maguire. I am Tobey Maguire's #1 fan. Nice. I agree with you that the music comedy category is better. Yeah. I'm so disgusted that Elvis is getting what it is. Yeah, it's so weird, right? Like, why has there not been a clapback, right? Why has there not been a clapback on Elvis? You'd think there would have been by now. I will. Oh yeah. My pick to win drama, if I were voting, sight unseen, haven't seen Fablemans yet, would be Tar. I mean, I would love for Tar to come out of this. It'll definitely fuel everyone who's like, oh my God, the awards don't care about the people and what the people want. And it's like, you know what? Go watch the fucking People's Choice Awards. That's it. That's the tweet. So let's now move down to Best Actress, Motion Picture Drama. Oh, wait, sorry, Charles, you said something. Might have been easier to ask your least favorite movies of the year. Didn't like The Sun. I think The Sun is pretty shit. Oh, yeah, The Young Arsonists. Wait, what is this movie? I saw this movie? What is this movie? Oh, yeah, I remember that movie. So yeah, my least favorite films of the year, probably Stellar was another one. I saw that at TIFF. It's a Canadian film. Was not into that movie. Halloween Ends is pretty terrible. Yeah, there weren't a lot of other ones that I saw where I was like, yo, this is bad. But those ones certainly. The Sun, yeah, The Sun, Stellar, and like that other one I said. Not into those. I also feel like See How They Run could have been really good. I'm more disappointed in it than I do think that it's a bad one. Also, Paul, you are so welcome for the stream. It's my pleasure. My pleasure as always. Halloween Ends sucks so bad. Oh yeah, Halloween Ends. That movie's pretty terrible. Okay, Best Actress, Motion Picture Drama. So in this, we've got Cate Blanchett for Tar, Olivia Colman for Empire of Light, Viola Davis for The Woman King, Ana de Armas for Blonde, which was a bit surprising, honestly. I didn't think that she would get in here. And Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. So here we see that Michelle Williams is, in fact, being campaigned for best actress, for lead actress. And I still think this is a mistake because I desperately want Michelle Williams to win an award for her performance, but it's not the year to be going up against Cate Blanchett in Tar. I am fully on board with the idea of Cate Blanchett winning Best Actress, especially in this field. I have not seen Empire of Light yet, but I plan on fixing that at some point. Probably not tomorrow because I'm not going to want to see another movie on the same day when I see Avatar 2. But I have seen like half of Blonde and The Woman King. I have seen the full of The Woman King. Viola Davis is pretty good in that movie. Ana de Armas, from what I've seen in Blonde, she does like the absolute best that she can in that, which is quite good. Like when I say best that she can, I'm more talking about the script that she has to deal with and the director that she has to work with. But she did a great job despite all of that. But I think this is Cate Blanchett's category. I don't really see anyone else coming in and taking this from her. Sorry, Michelle Williams, but you should have gone for Best Supporting Actress, and I do not know why you did not do that. Let's move now down to Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama. We've got Austin Butler, who should not be here. Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Hugh Jackman for The Sun, who should not be here. Bill Nighy for Living, and Jeremy Pope for The Inspection. So, of these, I have only seen Elvis, The Whale, and The Sun. And I am very confident in telling you that Brendan Fraser is the only person of those three who should be in this category. I don't really want to get into talking about who else I think should be here over them because, I don't know. Like, at this point, I would have been way better. I would have been so much better with, like, Jonathan Majors getting in here for that Korean War movie that he did. Like, put him in this instead of Austin Butler. Like, truly. Like, Austin Butler should not be here. But, you know, that's one of those things that I'll be proven right by as history progresses. Also, Hugh Jackman, like, he's not that good in The Sun. He's not award-worthy good in The Sun. You know what? I'm just going to flip back here. You know what? The lead in Decision to Leave. He should be in here. Who do we consider the lead in Broker? Is it Song Kang-ho? Yeah. I mean, he plays more of a support role, but like whatever. If Michelle Williams can go in for lead for The Fabelmans, then Song Kang-ho can certainly go in for lead here. So yeah, let's get him in here. Who else? Who else do we think can get in here? Timothy Chalamet is not the lead of that. Banshees of Inisherin is a comedy, so no one from that is going to be coming in. Who else? Put fucking Lee Jung Jae from The Hunt in as for best actor. Like I much prefer his performance in that to Austin Butler in Elvis. Like what about the dude from After Sun? Get him in there for best actor. Like are we kidding here? Paul Mescal. Yeah. Get him in. Get him in for best actor. Why the hell are we talking about that? It's certainly not a comedy or musical. Like why does Hugh Jackman need to be in there over Paul Mescal? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense. Of course it makes sense. There's a reason why some of these people get nominated. But like, come on. Some of these are just not good picks, right? They're just not good picks. Not a big fan of Olivia Colman for some reason. Kate Blanchett wins it, but Ana de Armas really did pour her heart out for Blonde, even though I hated that movie too. Yeah. It's almost like she's getting a participation award. But she did her best. 0 women directors nominated the Golden Globes. That's not surprising. They've always been very not good towards women directors. The franchise ends tonight. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully Halloween has no more movies in it, man. At least for a long ass time. And I really hope those assholes don't fuck with The Exorcist too much. Ooh, I've got 0 viewers on TikTok. I wonder if that has anything to do with me saying I might leave. Have you seen Don't Worry, Darling? Ooh, I've got 4 all of a sudden. What's up, TikTok people? I have not seen Don't Worry, Darling. I'm sorry, Chris. I can't speak on that one, unfortunately. All right, so let's move on to Best Actress Motion Picture for Musical Comedy. For everyone who's just joining in, we're going through the Golden Globe nominations. So we've got Leslie Manville for Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I have not seen it. Margot Robbie for Babylon, which I have not seen. Anya Taylor-Joy for The Menu, which I think is an interesting inclusion. Emma Thompson for Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, which I have not seen. And Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I will say, I do think it's nice that like Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett don't have to go head to head yet. Like they can both just win awards and it can be happy, because obviously Michelle Yeoh is going to win this, right? Like no one else is taking this from her. Unless Margot Robbie is absolutely like stunning and gives a stunning performance in Babylon, I don't see anyone overtaking Michelle Yeoh for this award. I also I've seen The Menu and I really like The Menu, and I think Anya Taylor-Joy is quite good in The Menu, but like I also don't think that's an award-worthy performance. I think it's like it's good, it's functional, it does exactly what it's supposed to, but I don't think it's I don't think it reaches the level of an award, right? Like you guys know what I mean, right? Like you can definitely put in a solid performance, a performance that helps the story, helps tell the story, helps convey what's going on to the audience, like something that I would call a functional performance. I think Anya Taylor-Joy really did that in The Menu. She did a really good job, but I don't think it's an award-worthy performance. Like not even close. So like that kind of feels to me, you know, like if you go back a few years and look at Golden Globe nominations when they would, you know, nominate Johnny Depp for whatever bullshit movie that he did because they just wanted Johnny Depp to be there, right? I'm wondering if maybe that is what's happening here with Anya Taylor-Joy. She's a great actress. I think she does really good work. I don't think that The Menu is an award-winning or an award-worthy performance, personally. We got people in TikTok land saying, have you seen The Fabelmans? Just watched it, thought it was great. Yeah, I have seen The Fabelmans. It's pretty good. I really like it. I especially like the scene with David Lynch at the end. That's like so fucking good. Just got on, but whatever you're talking about, the answer is Tombstone. Correct, Ed. The answer is always Tombstone. Mia Goth for Pearl should be nominated. Yeah, I mean, that would go under drama, right? Because I don't know where you would put a horror movie based on the Golden Globe side stuff. But yeah, I agree. That would also be a better inclusion. I much prefer Mia Goth's performance in Pearl to Anya Taylor-Joy's in The Menu. Anyways, let's go now to Best Actor in Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Apparently White Noise is a comedy. That's news to me. But we also have Diego Calva for Babylon, Daniel Craig for Glass Onion, Adam Driver for White Noise, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ralph Fiennes for The Menu. Don't know how I feel about Ralph Fiennes coming in for The Menu here. Once again, I think that The Menu is really good. Sorry for blocking the camera there. I had to do something on TikTok. I think Ralph Fiennes is really good in The Menu. I don't know if it's an award-worthy performance, though. Colin Farrell, on the other hand, for Banshees of Inisherin, definitely should be here. I have not seen White Noise, and I have not seen Babylon. I like the inclusion of Daniel Craig here, but it's kind of weird. Like, I can't... We'll have to see what Best Supporting Actress says, but, like, there's someone else in Glass Onion who maybe should be nominated ahead of Daniel Craig. Not in the lead role, but, you know, if he's here, then she should be here. But I guess we're going to find out if she actually is here. Out of this number of people, though, I assume that Colin Farrell wins this award. And I guess I haven't been saying that. Oh, I have been saying that, yeah. So Michelle Yeoh wins this one. Colin Farrell wins this one, I think. Unless once again, Diego Calva or Adam Driver absolutely kill it in either of these two films. So now, Best Supporting Actress for a Motion Picture. Oh, they don't divide those up between drama and comedy, eh? Interesting. I guess that makes sense. So, Best Supporting Actress Motion Picture, we've got Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere, which is wild, Dolly DeLeon for Triangle of Sadness, which is pretty cool, and Carey Mulligan for She Said. Yeah. I think Angela Bassett probably wins this, although I think, who would I want to win this? I think Carey Mulligan does good work in She Said. I think there's a couple of like interesting nuances that she brings to that performance, which I did enjoy. I think Dolly DeLeon is... Yeah, Dolly DeLeon would be I would be fine with her winning. I think Carrie Condon probably has maybe the best performance out of these five, with Angela Bassett maybe coming in a little bit behind, although Angela Bassett is also quite good. God, yeah, this is actually kind of a hard one to pick. This is tough. And like, once again, this is why Michelle Williams should be in this category, because she just wins it, right? She just wins it. She doesn't have to go up against Cate Blanchett or Michelle Yeoh. She just wins it. It's a missed opportunity to actually pick up some hardware. But, you know, who knows why these decisions get made. But yeah, out of these ones, I think probably Angela Bassett wins. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dolly DeLeon or Carrie Condon win either. I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis and Carey Mulligan do enough in their performances to win. I think maybe Jamie Lee Curtis's performance is going to be seen as being a little bit too silly. Not to say that wasn't exactly how she should have played that character, but I think that may work against her when it comes to voting. So, yeah. And then we get Best Supporting Actor Motion Picture. Interesting here to see Barry Keoghan going up against Brandon Gleeson. I wonder if that leads to vote splitting. And I think we also have like Brad Pitt here for Babylon, Ki Kwan for Everything Everywhere, and Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse. I think we can pretty much just say that like Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse, like that's kind of a weird one. I don't think anyone's expecting him to show up around Oscar time for this performance. So I think a lot of people want Ki Kwan to win. I think Brendan Gleeson in Banshees of Inisherin is a serious contender. But the fact that Barry Keoghan's here may lead to some vote splitting. Maybe. For the people who are super into Banshees of Inisherin, may lead to some vote splitting. And I have no idea about Brad Pitt's performance in Babylon. Based on the trailers, it looks like he's just doing Brad Pitt again. You know, so I want Ki Kwan to win this for sure. What else we got? Ooh, the very much no women category of best director. And to be clear, for anyone who may clip this out later or try to say that I'm being some kind of reversed misogynist or whatever the fuck kind of stupid language you use, but like, I'm not saying that there should be a token woman in this category. I'm saying that Charlotte Wells, director of Aftersun, should be fucking in this category. Not because she's a token female director, because Aftersun is one of the best films of the year. And she should be here in this category. That's why. Get Baz Luhrmann out of there. Easy. It's an easy switch. I think a lot of these other nominees, like, these are really easy. These are really easy picks, right? Like, you're a film critic, right? So you're like, oh yeah, Steven Spielberg, Martin McDonagh, James Cameron, like they're perennial favorites. Like they always get nominated for this stuff. Seeing the Daniels nominated for Everything Everywhere All at Once is incredible. I'm so happy that they're there. And out of these 5 people, well, 6 people technically, I want the Daniels to win 100%. I think that what they did with the budget that they had speaks volumes about their abilities as filmmakers, right? Like just imagine a world where Everything Everywhere All at Once had the budget of Elvis, right? Imagine what they could do. Never mind the budget of Avatar 2, right? Imagine what the Daniels could have done with the budget for Elvis or any of these films, because I feel like Everything Everywhere was made on like $5 million, whereas every one of other of these films is going to be made for at least 4 times that, if not more. So, yeah, the Daniels absolutely deserve to win this. I really wish that Charlotte Wells was here. I would have been pretty okay with Sarah Polley being here as well, although I do think that After Sun is a better film than Women Talking, so I think that Charlotte Wells should be here. I really do think. Jordan Peele ranking. Get Out, Nope, Us. 1, 2, 3. What's your ranking? So now you want more of The Menu? Man, I'd love to see more films like The Menu. Absolutely. And it's doing fairly well at the box office. Like, for its budget, I think it hasn't made back its money, but it's doing well enough, I think. Hold on. The Menu. 2022 film. No, not 2016 film. How do I screw that up? Yeah, so on a budget of 30 million, it's made 60. So it's almost making its money back, which is pretty good. And the word of mouth around has been so good that I imagine it's going to do well on streaming. So yeah, more movies like The Menu, please. All right. Best screenplay, motion picture. We've got Todd Field for Tar, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere, the Banshees of Inisherin, Mark McDonagh. We've got Sarah Polley, fellow Canadian, for Women Talking, and Tony Kushner and Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. Now, I think that out of these films, I think that Tar has probably the most superior, the bestest of these screenplays. I'm actually kind of sad that Don isn't here to agree with me and to tell me that he was right the whole time. But I think Tar is the best screenplay out of all of these. The way that it builds up the character of Lydia Tarr and then tears her down is meticulous and wonderful, and some of the best writing I've seen in a long time. I think the Daniels should be given credit for being able to create a multiverse movie, have it be comprehensible, and have it be fun, which is something that Marvel still has not been able to do. And I give them a lot of credit for what they've been able to put together with that. I think the Banshees of Inisherin is fine. I think that the Fabelmans is fine. Women Talking has a very good screenplay too, and I would not be mad if Women Talking ends up taking this. I think the screenplay is probably the strongest aspect of Women Talking outside of the performances. Also, none of the Women Talking performances got nominated. We didn't mention that. That's kind of fucked up. So I guess maybe we can think about maybe taking some of those performances, like Claire Foy, out of the running for Best Supporting, but we'll see what the Oscars end up doing. We'll see what the SAG Awards do. That's going to be the real bellwether. What I love about the screenplay for Tar is all the callbacks. Yeah, there's a lot of intricate stuff in Tar. Like it's quite good. So I personally would love to see the screenplay for Tar win this. But if Everything Everywhere or Women Talking won, I'd still be happy about it. All right, Best Animated Picture. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, also known as the winner of this category. We also have Inuo, always nice to see an anime film in here. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and Turning Red. So I've seen 4 of these films. I haven't seen Puss in Boots yet. This is a very strong category. As Dory has yelled out here, Inuo, let's go! Inuo is a pretty cool movie. I have to say, Inuo is a pretty cool movie. I saw it at Fantastic Fest, I believe. It wasn't my favorite anime film that I saw at Fantastic Fest. That would probably have to go to Goodbye Donglees. But Inuo does have some pretty banging songs in it, I have to say. and is like a perfectly good pick to have in here. I would have preferred Goodbye Donglees, but I think Inuo had more critical attention on it, so I understand why it's here over Goodbye Donglees. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is very good. It's an emotional movie. I think it probably doesn't end up winning because a lot of people are going to be like, is it animated though? Is it really an animated movie? Because, you know, not all of it is. But I'm also glad to see Turning Red here. I think Turning Red's probably one of the best Pixar movies in the last little while. And I would be perfectly fine if that won. It's not. It won't. Because Pinocchio's going to win. And in fact, in my Letterboxd review of Turning Red, I basically just said, if Del Toro's Pinocchio, or if Guillermo del Toro just didn't exist in the world, then Turning Red would win Best Animated Film this year. It's so good. I love Turning Red a lot, but Pinocchio is just like clearly a better film, and yeah, the amount of craftsmanship that went into Pinocchio is just stunning, absolutely stunning. But I still need to see Puss in Boots. Maybe it's the best one. I don't know. Also, Dory here saying that Apollo 10.5 got snubbed. Did it get snubbed or was it disqualified? Because like it's rotoscoped. Did it get disqualified for that? I don't know. Top 3 Canadian horror films. Whoa, that's a good question. Let's see if I can do this quickly off the top of my head. Black Christmas, Ginger Snaps. Now I'm just trying to pick which David Cronenberg film should go in here. Dead Ringers. Yeah, it's a pretty strong list actually. But yeah, those would be my top 3 Canadian horror films. Off the top of my head, I may have different picks, but those are pretty outstanding films. I think Jessie was nominated today. Jessie? What? Wait, were other nominations released today? Were the SAG Awards? Wait, were the SAG nominations released today? No. That's later, right? Yeah, okay, predicted. What was she nominated in though? Like for what award? She wasn't nominated in the Golden Globes, which is what we're talking about. Oh, the Critics' Choice. We'll have to talk about that too. Thank you for reminding me about that. All right, so I just watched Parasite the other day. Holy moly, what a ride! Oh yeah, Michael, Parasite's a good one. It's a good one. Best Picture, non-English language, formerly foreign language. Cool. So we've got All Quiet on the Western Front for Germany, Argentina 1985 for, not surprisingly, Argentina. Close for Netherlands, France, and Belgium. Interesting. Decision to Leave for South Korea, and Triple R for India. So I would say that out of the films I've seen out of here, which are only Decision to Leave and All Quiet on the Western Front, that I think Decision to Leave should win. I know that Triple R is going to have a lot of fan push behind it, but you know, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is a very small group of voters, like 150 people at this point ish. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get behind a film like India. I think Decision to Leave would be a much more traditional pick for them, but it is also like quite good. And I've heard only good things about Close in Argentina 1985, so I think this is a pretty strong category. Pretty strong. Although I also wouldn't mind like Brokers being in here instead of All Quiet on the Western Front. I think that was a bit. I think the acting in Broker was a bit stronger. Sorry, that's what I thought you were going over since it was released today. No, yeah, this is Golden Globes. I don't live stream every day, so I do have to play catch up occasionally. All right, let's see if we can go through some of these kind of quickly. Best Score Motion Picture, we've got Banshees of Inisherin, Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Women Talking, Babylon, and The Fabelmans. Out of these, none of the scores stuck out to me that much. I have not seen Babylon yet, so I can't really say anything about that. If the trailer for Babylon is anything to go off of, and if that song is in the film, then maybe it goes to Babylon. But all good scores for the most part. Just nothing that really stood out. I was really hoping that the score for Bones and All will get nominated, because I always love seeing Trent Reznor getting nominated for an Oscar. Best Song Motion Picture, we've got Carolina by Taylor Swift for When the Craw Dogs Sing, Ciao Papa by Alexander Desplat for Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Hold My Hand by Lady Gaga for Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up by Rihanna for Wakanda Forever, and Natu Natu for Triple R. Or is it should I be saying Triple R or RRR? What's the right way of saying it? Or should I just be saying R? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do in this instance. For these ones, I really don't know. I kind of hope that Ciao Papa wins, because I haven't heard Natu Natu, and I didn't really like the other songs that much. You call it Triple R? All right. Is the official title of Pinocchio actually have his name in it? Yeah. And they had to do that because there was another Pinocchio film released by Disney earlier this year that had Tom Hanks in it as Geppetto. So they had to call it Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio specifically in order to lessen confusion with the Disney film. But yeah, if we go up here, like Alexander Desplat for best score, it just says right there, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. If I ever direct a movie, that's what I'm gonna do. Like even if it's called like Revenge of the Vegans, it's gonna be TJ's Revenge of the Vegans. Anyways, I think the rest here is just TV stuff, and I'm not going to go through TV stuff because this is a film channel, but I'm just going to do a quick check. Yeah, this is all TV stuff. And Rocco's going to litter. So let's check out the Critics' Choice Awards. I didn't know that those were out. But overall, how's everyone feeling about the Golden Globe nominations? Obviously, there's some things that we can argue about, but like overall, how are you feeling about them? Do you think they got more right than they got wrong? Or does it just feel like a lot of Oscar baity shit got in there, and the real good stuff is not being represented? Critics' Choice Awards 2023 nominations. Logan's Run won Best Special Effects. That's how messed up awards are. Hey, I will not accept Logan's Run slander in this chat. I once got fired from a job because I decided to watch Logan's Run instead, and I still stand by. That decision. Let's see. Is this going to actually just show me the things? Can I just get a list, please? Oh, sick. Okay. So here's our list for the Critics' Choice Awards. Looks like they're doing a top 10. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, critics going wild. So the nominees that they have for Best Picture are Avatar 2, Babylon, Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Glass Onion. Surprised to see Glass Onion there, to be honest. Let's do that. Triple R, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Out of all of these, I think this is a mostly okay list. Obviously, Decision to Leave should be here, and EO should be here, and Brokers should probably be here too. But we've got Everything Everywhere. We've got Tar, so I'm good with that. Women Talking, I like to see it here, although I don't think it has a good shot at winning. I still think the Top Gun Maverick fervor is ridiculous, and we need to stop. Triple R, I really need to see. I plan on seeing it soon. Glass Onion is pretty good, although I'm honestly surprised to see it nominated here. Like, I think it's a pretty good film, but I once again don't think it's like an award worthy film. It was my second favorite film at TIFF, though, so maybe I'm just being an idiot. The Fabelmans, I understand why it's here. It's definitely Oscar baity. Elvis being here is stupid. We should just stop having this conversation. Banshees and Babylon being here makes sense. They're very Oscar baity films. And Avatar, once again, haven't seen it. I'll be rectifying that tomorrow, though. So yeah, overall, I think it's an okay list. I would love to see like EO in here, and I would love to see Decision to Leave in here. Yeah. Only a couple of these films really make it into my top 5 of the year, top 10 of the year. Like, Everything Everywhere is going to be in my top 10. Tar is going to be in my top 10. And aside from that, I don't think anything else here is going to be in my top 10. So I think there were much better movies out there than these that are being left out. But, you know, that's awards season. Boiling Point was the most recent movie I'd recommend. Always love a one-shot movie. And actually, one of the films that we haven't talked about today is Athena. That has a shot, I think, at being nominated for Best Non-English Language Film at the Oscars. And it's a one-take film, just like Boiling Point is. And it's on Netflix, so go check that out if you haven't already. Let's move on now to Best Actor. We've got... Did you do a good... My cat just went to the litter box, and then he, like, meowed after he got out to let me know that he did a good job. So I just wanted to confirm with him that he did, in fact, do a good job, and he's just looking at jumping up on the sink. So it's hard to know what he's talking about. So Best Actor, we've got Austin Butler for Elvis, which I don't think should be here. Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick, who I don't think should be here. Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, which I'm fine with. Brendan Fraser for The Whale, which is awesome. He's going to win. Also, we have Paul Mescal for Aftersun, which is incredible. Thank you. Thank you, Critics' Choice, for having some sense. We also have Bill Nighy for Living, which I haven't seen, but I hear it's good. And yeah, so like overall, I would just take out Austin Butler and Tom Cruise here. Put the multiple donkeys in EO in this category and take Tom Cruise out of there, man. Seriously. I see you here, Don. I see you talking about Tom Cruise. You missed a part earlier in the stream when I said that you were right about something, but I'm not going to tell you what that was. Children of Men has a rad long scene, one shot from my memory. It has a couple, actually. Children of Men has about 3. Well, I mean, it's mostly done in long takes, but I think there are 3 exceptional ones that are like done as action sequences. But yeah, there's a lot of long takes in that film for sure. The Batman for cinematography and score, I wouldn't mind that. All right, let's talk about Best Actress. We've got Cate Blanchett for Tar. We've got Viola Davis for The Women King. Danielle Deadwyler for Till. Margot Robbie for Babylon. Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. And Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is going to be a very competitive category. It's going to come down, I think, between Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett. And I think maybe... I honestly don't know who wins between the two of them. I think Cate Blanchett put in one of the best performances of the year, but I also think Michelle Yeoh put in one of the best performances of the year. And I think that Michelle Yeoh's performance was necessarily more varied, which could give her an edge. So I think I would want Michelle Yeoh to win this, but Cate Blanchett did great work, and like no one's going to say otherwise. And Michelle Williams, you should be down here in Best Supporting, where you can actually kick some butt. But oh well, I guess not. Between Tar, Everything Everywhere, and Till for me. For which category? For Best Supporting Actor or Actress or Best Film? Golden Globe Drama will be Williams or Blanchett. Yeah, but I imagine Blanchett wins. Like I think Blanchett very clearly goes over Michelle Williams. I think. In terms of just like quality of performance, I think Cate Blanchett goes over, but maybe I don't know a thing about acting, which is perhaps true. Best Supporting Actor, we've got Paul Dano for The Fabelmans, which I don't mind seeing that. We've got Brendan Gleeson for Banshees of Inisherin. We've got Judd Hirsch for a very small role in The Fabelmans. I'm interested to see that, actually. Honestly, if we're going to give Judd Hirsch a nomination for The Fabelmans, we should be giving David Lynch a nomination for The Fabelmans. But that would just be more of me being kind of being a troll. But it's still fun. I still love that performance. We also have Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, Kiyu Kwan for Everything Everywhere, and Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway. Interesting how we didn't have Jennifer Lawrence for Causeway. I still need to watch that. So this category is not bad. I like seeing Kiyu Kwan here for sure. I think Brendan Gleeson's going to be his main competition. I like the inclusion of Paul Dano, although I don't think Judd Hirsch is in The Fabelmans enough to really garner this nomination. Like he's in 2 scenes. They're important scenes, certainly, but still only in 2 scenes. Banshees is my personal favorite film of the year. Right on. It's a good movie. I got no qualms with it. It's not in my top 5, and I don't know if it'll make it in my top 10, but like it's still really good. No doubt about it. I think though for Best Supporting Actor, I think it's going to be Kiyu Kwan. The only person I can see taking it from him will be Brendan Gleeson. Although looking at this, I can kind of also see Paul Dano as a bit of a dark horse. But once again, I think Kiyu Kwan has a bit more of a varied and a bit more of a difficult role, and I think he pulled it off really, really well. So I think he takes it. Nope, getting snubbed. That is true. I think Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya could easily, like, Best Supporting Actor, put Daniel Kaluuya in here with these guys. Knock out, like, Barry Keoghan, and bam. You got yourself, like, a more interesting category. Looks like Bob Mack just got the #1 gifter badge. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Oh, you sent in a rose. You're sick. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So yeah, let's move on to Best Supporting Actress. We've got Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Jessie Buckley for Women Talking, Carrie Condon for Banshees, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere, Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere, and Janelle Monáe for Glass Onion. So that's who I was going to bring up when we were talking about Daniel Craig getting nominated for Best Best Supporting or Best Actor, or Best Supporting, whatever it was, in the Golden Globes, is that if he gets nominated, then Janelle Monáe should also get nominated. But she wasn't in the Golden Globes, but she is here for the Critics' Choice Awards. It's interesting. Fairly good category. I think Angela Bassett is strong in Wakanda Forever. Jessie Buckley is good, is very good in Women Talking, although it's kind of interesting that Claire Foy didn't get nominated here, especially since there seems to be no problem with double nominations from one film. Carrie Condon's very good in Banshees of Inisherin. Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Hsu are both very good in Everything Everywhere, and I think I would actually prefer to see Stephanie Hsu win over Jamie Lee Curtis. And I like how Janelle Monáe is here. I like that she's in this category. But I also don't think that this is like the overall strongest category we've ever seen. I also don't know if there's like a clear favorite out of all of these, except for maybe Angela Bassett. But that may be more recency bias talking than anything else. So yeah, I don't know about this one. What do you guys think? Who wins in this? Let's now move on to Best Young Actor or Actress. So we've got Frankie Corio for Aftersun, Jalen Hall for Till, Gabriel LaBelle for The Fabelmans, Bella Ramsey for Catherine Called Birdie, Banks Rapita for Armageddon Time, and Sadie Sink for The Whale. This is kind of an interesting category because, like, Frankie Corio, Gabriel LaBelle, Sadie Sink, and Banks Rapita are all pretty good in their movies. They're all pretty good. I personally would want to see Frankie Corio win this, but I also wouldn't be mad if Gabriel LaBelle won. He is a Canadian boy. He's a good Canadian boy. But he is the heart and center of Fabelmans, right? And he does good work in there. So yeah, I'd probably go with him. Although Sadie Sink in The Whale is not bad. Although I think she may be a little one note. She does get to get a bit more rangy near the end of the film, but she's kind of, I don't know. She's really good, but I don't know if she does enough in the movie to win. And I would personally prefer to see Frankie Corio or Gabriel LaBelle win this. And I would definitely want to see Frankie Corio win overall. Although I haven't seen Till and I haven't seen Catherine Called Birdie. And I don't think I'll be seeing Catherine Called Birdie, but Till I'll probably end up seeing because I think maybe Danielle Deadwyler gets nominated for an Oscar. Best Acting Ensemble: Banshees, Everything Everywhere, Fabelmans, Glass Onion, The Women King, and Women Talking. I think that Women Talking probably wins this. It's a very, very strong ensemble. And it feels like it's more of a true ensemble. Like there is no true lead in Women Talking. It's just a lot of incredibly good supporting performances. Banshees has like pretty good performances from all four of the mains. You all know who they are. Everything Everywhere has a lot of good performances from like its three mains. The Fabelmans has, Michelle Williams and Paul Dano, but like I don't think Fabelmans is as strong an ensemble. Glass Onion, as like a mystery film, everyone does exactly what they're supposed to, but there's a lot of like, I don't think there's a lot of nuance in a lot of the sort of like ensemble-y type roles in Glass Onion, so I don't know about that. Women King does have a pretty good ensemble as well, but I just think that Women Talking has the strongest ensemble out of all of them. Like if you think about Jessie Buckley and Claire Foy, and then the fact that like Frances McDermott is in there, there's only like one dude in the film. I forget his name now. Oh no, it's Ben Whishaw, I think. He's quite good. There's a lot of like supporting roles in this film, like lower down supporting roles. A lot of younger actresses. There's a Canadian actress who was in I Can See the Mermaid Singing that was really good in the film as well. Yeah, I just think Women Talking is the overall strongest ensemble. All right, let's look at all of these best directors. My God, look at all these directors. There's too many directors. You guys were saying that the Cinemateq Film Awards had too many people nominated. Look at this shit. So we've got James Cameron for Avatar 2, Damien Chazelle for Babylon, Todd Field for Tar, Baz Luhrmann for Elvis for some reason. You know what? I've just decided. Elvis is this year's Joker in terms of getting way too many nominations. Yep. The Daniels for Everything Everywhere, Martin McDonagh for Banshee, Sarah Polley for Women Talking, Gina Prince By the Wood for The Women King. Wait, how do you pronounce her last name? Is it Bythewood? Yeah, it's probably Bythewood, not By the Wood. SS Rajamouli for Triple R, and Mr. Spielberg for The Fabelmans. How is Avatar 2 nominated for anything if it hasn't been released yet? Well, in the case of the Critics' Choice and the Golden Globes, those are both they're both critics, right? And critics have seen the film. Like they get early screeners to make sure that like they have Avatar 2 available in order to put in these things. Like Disney, who runs this kind of stuff, they would make sure that even if there were not like specific critic screenings, they would make sure that there was like a way for critics to screen Avatar 2 before they cast their ballots to make sure that it had a chance to make it on. Because they know that Avatar 2, like, getting nominated for Oscars will help its overall box office ambitions, because it's going to have to be in theaters for like 3 or 4 months to make all of its money back. So yeah, like, you're not going to see, like, the film is coming out tomorrow, right? So every other like major award body will be releasing its nominations in the new year. So it's really only for these ones that announce their nominations that are critic based that they get to see like early screeners. Because of course critics get to see early screeners, right? I occasionally get to see early screeners, and I'm not even a critic. So out of these, I really like Todd Field for this award, and I really like the Daniels for this award. And that's it. I love being a film critic. Cricket? I love being a film cricket. This is me being a film cricket. What? I think Steven Spielberg does a good job. Good job with The Fabelmans. Overall, well constructed. Decent. Definitely a decent job there. I haven't seen Triple R yet. The Women King is quite well constructed as well. I have no qualms with that movie. Women Talking is good, although I think there may be some issues with... I don't know. I don't want to put it down to just like, oh, I wasn't a big fan of how they did the color timing in the film. I think, yeah, Sarah Polley did a good job with that. If we think about directing as being like directing the actors and not being like the person who is totally in control of everything, then yeah, I think Women Talking is actually a very good inclusion here. Same thing with Banshees. And I haven't seen these two films yet, Avatar 2 and Babylon. So yeah, this is kind of a tough one. I think it's either going to go to the Daniels or Todd Field. I would love to see either of those two win. The Daniels for sure. I just want them to win everything. They're so deserving for Everything Everywhere. But yeah, maybe my mind will be changed when I see other of these ones. Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie was snubbed across the board. Unbelievable. Is it good? I haven't seen it. Is it worth watching? All right, let's move on to original screenplay. And Don, this is where I reveal to you what I said you were right about. In the Golden Globes, in the field that Tar is nominated for, I think Tar had the best screenplay for sure. In this field, though, with After Sun being here, actually, I think Tar is probably still the better screenplay. So we have After Sun being nominated for best screenplay, The Fabelmans, Banshees, Everything Everywhere, and Tar. Once again, I'll just return to what I said for the Golden Globes. I think the best cases can be made for Everything Everywhere and Tar. The build-up in Tar and the payoff of Tar and the epilogue of Tar are all incredible and pitch perfect. And what the Daniels were able to do with a multiverse concept is like awe-inspiring, I think. Whereas like Banshees and Fabelmans, they're a little bit paint by numbers, a little bit. And Charlotte Wells for After Sun like absolutely deserves this nomination. And if Everything Everywhere and Tar didn't exist, I would be cheering for her so hard. But I think this has to go to either Todd Field or the Daniels. And that's for original screenplay. Now for best adapted screenplay, this is interesting. So we've got The Whale, Living, Glass Onion, She Said, and Women Talking. I think out of these 5, Women Talking absolutely wins. I don't see any other film winning, even coming close. Yeah, this is a slam dunk in my mind. That's got to be Women Talking. It's got to be. Like, there's no chance Sarah Polley loses this. Yeah, Yeah, okay, that one's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Let's see. Best cinematography. We've got Avatar 2, Empire of Light, Tar, Fabelmans, Top Gun Maverick, and Babylon. I think there's a strong chance that Top Gun Maverick wins this. I think a lot of hay has been made about the technical innovations for Top Gun Maverick. And I think there's a lot of goodwill going towards the film. Avatar 2 is also probably going to be making a lot about its technical achievements when it comes to cinematography, but I think a lot of people, and maybe because this is the Critics Award, maybe this doesn't happen, but I think a lot of people will just see Avatar 2 and be like, oh, it's all CGI, so why would we give it best cinematography? Like, it's just animation. Why would we give it an award, you know? We also have Roger Deakins here for Empire of Light, and we cannot dismiss the fact that Roger Deakins is here. Although I think Empire of Light isn't getting enough good press. Although maybe he just wins because he's Roger Deakins. I still need to see that though. I wouldn't mind seeing Florian Hofmeister win for Tar. I think The Fabelmans is like mostly take it or leave it. I think it's pretty functional cinematography, and there are some really cool moments in the film, but it's like, eh. And then Linus Sandgren for Babylon. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it. So I imagine Top Gun Maverick wins this, unless Avatar 2 is like so incredible, or Roger Deakins just decides to be Roger Deakins, you know? Empire of Light was weak sauce compared to what Roger Deakins can do. So would you then say, Brett on TikTok, that Empire of, like, the cinematography in Empire of Light is like below what Roger Deakins has done in other films like Blade Runner 2049 and 1917? Thoughts on Crimes of the Future. The new one I think is fine. I'm not like a huge fan of it. I think it's probably like middle of the pack for Cronenberg films. I wish it was more tantalizing. I wish it was a bit more tantalizing. It felt more like, and this was probably on purpose, but it felt more like surgery instead of body horror, you know? This is definitely subtle cinematography, but it doesn't feel at all special like those. Just talking about Empire of Light. Gotcha. Eli, you're heading out. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by. So was I correct about the original screenplay? Yes, Don, you were right about original screenplay. I saw Empire of Light yesterday. It's a consistently pretty and aesthetically pleasing film, but the cinematography never once took my breath away. Gotcha. I hold Deakins to 1917 standards for everything now, so not sure about Empire of Light. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be what a lot of people are saying. Oh, wait, Josephine, what are you saying up here? Pattinson for lead actor over Butler any day. Oh, yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Let's now move on to Best Production Design. We've got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, The Fabelmans, Avatar 2, Everything Everywhere, Elvis, and Babylon. This is a category where I can actually see Elvis winning, although I think that maybe Babylon wins this. I think that maybe Babylon wins this out of these ones. We got Don saying that Women King was robbed. Having not seen a few of these, it's hard for me to say, but yeah, I can see that being the case. Once again, I wonder if production design takes a hit. Like for Avatar 2, I wonder if people are just like, oh, it's CGI, so it doesn't really have production design. Not saying that's how it is, but I'm saying that's how people might be thinking. But yeah, I think Babylon is the more traditional pick out of all of these, just based on what I've seen in the trailers. But I don't know, maybe that movie is not good. There's always a chance. Pre-seeing the film, you think it's gonna win? Yeah, it reminds me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood vibes. But I think it's also a little bit more over the top. It's a little bit more overt. It's also like a different decade. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the 70s. Babylon is the 30s, I think, or the late 20s. Actually, yeah, it'd be before the Great Depression, so it's gonna be like it's gonna be the Roaring 20s in there. Yeah. All right, best editing: Babylon, Top Gun Maverick, Avatar 2, Everything Everywhere, Elvis, and Tar. I want Everything Everywhere to win this. I want Everything Everywhere to win this so badly. I hope that Top Gun doesn't swoop in here and take best editing, because I don't think it gets it. I don't think it deserves it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more into like match cutting and stuff like that, but I think that Everything Everywhere should take this. Tar is also a very strong candidate in my mind. The way that the rhythm of the film builds over time, in Tar is pretty awesome. So I would go with that. And then once again, maybe Avatar 2 is awesome and maybe Babylon is awesome. I don't know. I would take Everything Everywhere over Babylon. And Don, to your point, why can't Everything Everywhere win Best Sound? Why not that? Although it probably will be Top Gun. Best Costume Design, we've got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Glass Onion, Knives Out, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis, The Woman King, and Babylon. So for this one, I'm going to assume it's going to be either Elvis, The Woman King, or Babylon. I don't know if Wakanda Forever does enough work to win this. I know it won. I know the first Black Panther won this category at the Oscars. I don't know if it did enough this time around, or maybe I'm just not remembering the movie like I should. TJ, this list is literally my top 6. Your top 6 what? For Best Costume Design? So yeah, I imagine Babylon wins this. Either that or The Women King, or maybe Elvis, but I would much prefer these two winning. Best hair and makeup, we've got Babylon, The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, and The Whale. Hey, Hollywood Reporter, you forgot to italicize The Whale. Best hair and makeup. I'm gonna say I would want... Oh, wait, no, it's probably going to be The Whale. The Whale is probably going to win because of the suit that Brendan Fraser has to wear. That typically is how this goes with this type of stuff. Whichever movie has the most prosthetics, that's the one that wins Best Hair and Makeup. So probably The Whale wins this. Although I'd like to see Everything Everywhere win. Have you seen Funeral Parade of Roses? No, but I've heard that name before. What is that movie? Funeral Parade of Roses. Ooh, it's from '69. Nice. It's a Japanese film. It's a drama art film from Toshio Matsumoto. Why do I know that name? I feel like I've seen something from him, or someone has told me about this film before. War at the age of 16? No. Demons? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know why I would know this. Why I would know this person. But the name of the film is so familiar. It's a Japanese New Wave film, my absolute favorite. Right on. I'll throw it in my watch list on Letterboxd. You should follow me on Letterboxd if you haven't yet. Maybe it already is. I feel like it might already be there. No, it's not. Ooh, that's a good image though. I love that. An electrifying journey into the nether regions of late 1960s Tokyo underworld. Fun stuff. How long is it? 105 minutes. Love it. All right. Thank you for that recommendation. Let's move on now with Best Visual Effects. We've got Avatar 2, The Batman, Black Panther 2, Everything Everywhere, Triple R, and Top Gun. Man, I would really love Everything Everywhere to win this, but I think this probably goes to Top Gun. I think it probably goes to Top Gun. And Elvis is way too overhyped for it to be overlooked. Wait, what? I think Elvis is winning hair and makeup? Nah, I don't think so. I think Brendan Fraser's prosthetics does a lot more for The Whale than Tom Hanks in Elvis does for Elvis. I think The Whale is gonna, and The Whale, a lot of the attention for The Whale is going to be on Brendan Fraser. So yeah. And for VFX here, yeah, once again, I think Top Gun probably does win, but I want Everything Everywhere to win. Once again, because it's the little guy, it's the small film, and they do so many amazing things visually with visual effects. Avatar 2 won't win Best Special Effects? Oh, that's true. Right, it's just sitting right there, and I should probably consider it. Yeah, I guess it's got a shot. I guess it's got a good chance. And the original Avatar did win Best Special Effects, right? So, maybe this is going to end up being turned into an Avatar 2 versus Top Gun 2 type battle for Best Visual Effects, and Everything Everywhere will get lost in the shuffle, or it'll come right up through the middle. That'd be kind of fun. Ooh, Best Comedy. They do that here, apparently. I got Banshees of Inisherin, Bros, which I thought was a more divisive film, but all right. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sorry, when I say divisive, I mean I thought the critics weren't all super into it. It premiered at TIFF, and it got kind of a lukewarm response from what I recall. But yeah, we've got Banshees, Bros, Banshees and Bros. That's probably going to be the name of like my pub if I ever open a pub. Banshees and Bros. Wait, no, that means that I'm probably referring to women as just banshees. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Never mind. Everything Everywhere All at Once, also for Best Comedy. Glass Onion, Triangle of Sadness, and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Wow, didn't expect that to see there. Didn't expect to see that there. That's how that sentence should have been arranged. I would hope Everything Everywhere takes this. I would absolutely hope that it takes this one. I don't think there's any real... no explanation needed. It's like one of the best films, if not the best film of the year, so it should win Best Comedy. Best Animated Feature, we've got GDT's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell, Puss in Boots, Turning Red, and Wendell and Wild. Nice to see Wendell and Wild nominated here. Wonder if that means it'll get in for the Oscars. Who knows? Who knows? Pinocchio wins this. I don't think that's in doubt. It's the winner. It's the winner. Then we've got Best Foreign Language Film, which should be Best Non-English Language Film, because if you live in a place where English isn't the first language, then English is a foreign language film. All Quiet on the Western Front for Germany, Argentina 1985 for Argentina, Bardo, The False Chronicle of Handful of Truths for Mexico, Close for the Netherlands, I think, Decision to Leave for South Korea, and Triple R for India. I hope it's Decision to Leave. I haven't seen Triple R yet, but I know that's going to be a sentimental favorite. I've heard good things about Close in Argentina 1985. I've seen All Quiet on the Western Front. It's quite good, but I don't think it's quite good enough. And I think Bardo is like too masturbatory. I just don't want it to win. I do not want Bardo to win. I don't think Inarritu deserves it. It's a fine movie, but I think it's just way too self-indulgent. Like the self-indulgence is like too much for me to enjoy it. I just can't get into it. It is actually interesting though to compare like Bardo with something like The Fabelmans or Armageddon Time, because you can see how Spielberg and James Gray bring like a certain amount of self-awareness to their films in trying to navigate their own legacy, whereas I think Inarritu in Bardo is just like, I'm a tortured artist, kind of, and I don't know where I exist. I don't know, maybe I'm not able to connect with it as much because it's more of like it's like somewhat of an immigrant story, and that's not something I can really relate to. But as we were talking about with Turning Red, like, just because you don't experience something doesn't mean you can't relate to it. It just depends on how it's presented. So I think maybe Bardo's just a little bit too self-indulgent for my taste. Yeah. So I would hope to see Decision to Leave win, but Triple R winning would also be pretty fun. Best Song. We've got Carolina from Where the Crawdads Dogs Sing, Chia Papa for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Hold My Hand for Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up for Black Panther Wakanda, Natu Natu for Triple R, and New Body Roomba for White Noise. So this category is exactly the same as the Golden Globes, with the exception of New Body Roomba for White Noise. I think that probably, I would hope that Chiao Papa wins this. I don't really want Taylor Swift to win. I guess I don't really care, but whatever. I don't want Top Gun Maverick to win this one because I'm biased. Lift Me Up would be fine, and Natu Natu would be a lot of fun, and I haven't seen White Noise, so I can't really speak on that. And I think this is the last category, so if you got any hot takes about these, get them in now. Best Score, we've got Alexander Desplat for GDT's Pinocchio, Michael Giacchino for The Batman, Hildur Grondotter for Tar. Second opportunity to say this name. Hildur Grondotter for Women Talking, Justin Hurwitz for Babylon, and John Williams for The Fabelmans. I remember liking the score in The Batman, but is that the score or is that Nirvana? I think it's probably Nirvana more than anything else. I did like the score in Tar. I thought that was pretty cool. I think probably I prefer the score in Tar over all of these. So I'd probably pick Tar as my favorite to win, although I imagine that The Fabelmans wins. Yeah, Hildur won Best Score for The Joker, which was a well-deserved award in my mind. But yeah, I think the score in Tar was pretty good. The score in all of these was pretty good. Although I don't really remember the score of the Batman. I just remember the Nirvana song, which is sick. It's a great song. Another great example how all of the best Nirvana songs are songs that were not singles, which is a hot take that I will take to my death. So yeah, I hope Tar wins this. I hope Tar wins the best score, but probably John Williams or Alexander Desplat wins. Desplat. All right, so we got Don making a lot. Oh my God, Don. You kind of make me wonder if I need a moderator to stop spamming, but at the same time, I do have slow mode on, so it's just maybe no one else is chatting. Everyone, drown out Don quickly. Okay, so yeah, we've gone through that. With Women Talking currently being vulnerable, do you see its trajectory playing out like Little Women or One Night in Miami? A little bit, yeah. I think that its inclusion, Sarah Polley got nominated here for Best Director, right? Yeah, but this is a very wide field. I think that if Women Talking does not get a Best Director nom at the Oscars, and at this point I don't think it's a strong enough case that Sarah Polley should get nominated for it. And I don't mean that she put in a bad effort. I just mean that some of the other nominees are just going to be so much stronger, going to have a stronger case, I think. I think Women Talking may have some difficulty, especially with the Golden Globes. We saw that Women Talking did not get any nominations for acting, which might bode poorly for the film going forward. We'll have a better sense of how well represented it'll be when the SAG Awards nominations get announced, but that's in January, so it's really just speculation at this point. But yeah, Women Talking might end up being one film, like a film that just doesn't do much. Although, if the Best Adapted Screenplay race, if this is the exact same list of people that we get for the Oscars, Sarah Polley wins this award, no doubt. I haven't seen Living. I will preface by saying that, but these 5 people get nominated. These 4 that I have seen, those 4 get nominated. Sarah Polley wins, no doubt, absolutely no doubt. Living, I haven't seen. I've heard it's very good. So once I see it, I'll be able to speak more on this. But I think Sarah Polley wins this if this is it. This, once again, depending on how the nominations shake out, it might be the only thing that Women Talking gets nominated for. And if it does, with that competition, it wins. Fabelmans is a shoo-in for Best Original Screenplay nom. But this is adapted screenplay I'm talking about, Don. Keep up. Oh, wait. Could Fabelmans pull a Mank and Miss Screenplay, making room for both After Sun and Triangle? Well, for Best Original, you have After Sun here already in this top 5, which I think bodes well for it. I don't think Fabelmans misses. I don't think Fabelmans misses on Best Screenplay, although out of the 5 here, I think that Fabelmans is the weakest of these screenplays. So if anything is going to get knocked out on quality, then it will be Fabelmans. I just don't know if it's going to be like Triangle of Sadness that does it. So yeah, it's going to be, it's interesting. It's interesting. If Top Gun gets adapted screenplay later on, it could get a Coda run. I really hope that Top Gun 2 does not get a screenplay nomination. It's a bad screenplay, right? It's just not good. It's not a good screenplay. As I've said before, it's Star Wars A New Hope with a Fast and Furious skin. That's what Top Gun 2 is. It's got some nice stunts. It's got some really good cinematography. Beyond that, it's just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise in a Star Wars movie with a Fast and Furious skin. So, I think that maybe it peters out a little bit when we get further into awards season. But who knows? Who knows? I'm telling you, Top Gun is getting adapted screenplay, whether it wins or not. No. I mean, maybe it gets nominated. It absolutely doesn't deserve to be, though. It just doesn't deserve to be at all. Could the adapted screenplay category have 0 Best Picture nods, similar to lead actress last year? So using this as a template, like if we assume that these 5 films get in for Best Adapted Screenplay at the Oscars, then yeah, that is a possibility, because I think The Whale is not going to have that strong of a showing. Living will have Bill Nighy maybe for Best Lead and probably nothing else. Glass Onion probably won't have anything outside of a screenplay nomination. I mean, there's an outside chance that maybe Glass Onion gets in for Best Picture because it's going to be like a popular film, and I imagine that Netflix is going to campaign on it pretty hard. She Said, I don't think makes Best Picture, and I don't think Women Talking takes Best Picture either, or gets into the Best Picture either. Then again, let's look at the variety favorites for Best Picture 2023. So they have currently Top Gun Maverick as number 1. My God, what a world we live in. Banshees of Inisherin, Fabelmans, Everything Everywhere, Tar. They have Women Talking at number 6, which I don't agree with. Avatar 2, Elvis, which I also don't agree with. The Woman King, and Triple R. Yeah. So it's possible, I guess. I'm joining late again. I'm going to watch Avatar, Babylon, and Women Talking the next 3 days. Why have I heard bad reviews for Avatar? You have heard bad reviews for Avatar? I haven't heard any of those yet. I thought the initial critical reaction was quite positive, but maybe they just only showed it to select critics. But yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow. Also, I will end on this. I'm going to be getting out of here in a couple of minutes, but I am seeing Avatar 2 tomorrow, and I couldn't get into an IMAX 3D screening because those like sold out. Not sold out, but they like sold enough that I wouldn't have a good seat if I went to see it there. So I instead decided on a 3D high frame rate screening. So I'm going to be watching Avatar 2 in 48 frames a second. So we'll see how that goes. I have very low expectations, so I don't know what to think about it. And I've also never seen a film in high frame rate, so I don't know what that is going to do to my experience. I also could have watched it in Screen X and had a pretty good seat, but I've never done Screen X before, and just based on how it's set up, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of this. Weirdly, it seems like I'm okay with them doubling the frame rate, but I'm not okay with them like tripling the field of view. Somehow 1 to me is okay. High frame rate looks like soap opera mode. Yeah, I've definitely heard that, but I'm hoping that because this is mostly a CGI film, that it'll just look like smoother animation as opposed to soap opera mode. If it looks like shit, then I'll probably make like some sort of video and be like, hey, don't see it in high frame rate mode. Like, go see it normally. And then I'll try to rewatch it again in the future, maybe on Disney Plus, or maybe again in theaters in proper IMAX if I can manage that. But yeah, I'm going in with the knowledge that the format that I've chosen may ruin the experience for me. Hopefully it doesn't, though. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't know what to expect. They say it takes 15 minutes to get used to. That's fine. It'll be an experience one way or another. I'll have popcorn and I'll have Diet Coke, and that's all I'm going to need. Only 3 open spots between Women Talking, Women King, Glass Onion, Babylon, Glass Onion, Triple R, She Said, or Pinocchio. For what? Banshees feels like Belfast, though. Academy loves it. Overperforms in nominations, but only wins screenplay. I think Banshees has a shot at Best Actor with Colin Farrell. I also don't think that Banshees is Belfast, because Banshees is clearly a better film than Belfast. Like, it has a lot more going on for it. Also, we got Fuzz Aldrin showing up, saying, hey, friend, thank you very much for dropping by. Appreciate it. Although I'm going to be leaving in just a second. So, yeah. I'm interested to see what happens with this high frame rate thing. I'm seeing Avatar 2 in tomorrow. Looks like No Go Away is saying they need Avatar 2. I hope you like it when you see it. Are you seeing it this weekend? Tomorrow, perhaps? Friday? I'm going to be seeing it tomorrow. in high frame rate and in 3D. It's a combination of things that I don't normally do when I go to the movie theater. So hopefully that makes it good. Hopefully, maybe. We'll find out. So yeah, that I think is going to be all for this evening. Thank you very much, everyone, for dropping by. Once again, please keep an eye out for changes coming to the channel, like the creation of a second channel, probably called like Cinemateq Games or something like that, on YouTube. That's where all of the framed and flickle content is going to be going from now on. Parcel checking in, what's up? I'm about to head out, but thanks for dropping by. Also, just be aware that the TikTok account may disappear at some point in the near future because the United States government is either going to ban TikTok, or I should probably just like stop using it because it's very much connected with the Chinese government, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'll keep you guys informed. In any way, in any case, you're still going to get the Cinemateq content. It's still going to be going. That's not going anywhere. It's just going to be moving around a little bit. So until the next time, I will be live streaming next. Will I be live streaming next Wednesday? Because I know Christmas is coming up soon. Yeah, next Wednesday is the 21st, so you can probably count on a live stream. I may not live stream on the 28th, but knowing me, I might get drunk and live stream on New Year's Eve. Who knows? But yeah, you can definitely catch me. Ooh, someone just subscribed. Nubs11, thank you so much for subscribing wherever you are. Got in there right at the end of the live stream. I like that. Yeah, you can definitely catch me a week from now on the 21st. I will be live streaming then. And beyond that, who knows? I might take a little bit of a break over Christmas. We shall see. So thank you once again, everyone, for watching. And I am going to leave you with that. Watch more movies and watch Avatar 2 so we can talk about it. See you later.
Get off my plane.
He's looking at you, kid.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
The Force will be with you, always.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hasta la vista, baby.